This is a public service announcement.
We can't hear you.
This is a public service announcement.
Happy New Year, everybody. It's 2019. We made it. 2018 felt so short. Everything moved by a little too quickly for me. I don't really remember anything, but that also might be because I'm 25 years old now. I am a quarter century, which makes me a quarter of a fossil. So that's great. But really, I'm gonna start doing this a little more often, kind of posting my thoughts on maybe events or just ideas and general life stuff. Because why not? I'm not getting any younger, and by the time I turn 30, then I'm gonna have a mortgage, and I'm not gonna want to do anything fun anymore. So, might as well take the advantage while I'm still chipper and whatnot, right? So, the main topic I really wanted to talk about with this video, with the year just starting, one thing you probably see a lot, whether you're on Twitter, whether you're on Facebook. I don't get on Facebook that often anymore, but I'm sure they still do that. Um, I think people still use Tumblr. But the biggest thing that you see is stuff about New Year's resolution. And when you boil down to the root of a New Year's resolution, you're looking at drive, and underneath drive, you're looking at motivation. So, motivation is something that I feel like most people in this world struggle with. Because we joke about it all the time, especially on social media or even in person. We're like, "Oh, I made this New Year's resolution. Like, I'm gonna go work out. I'm gonna have a six pack. I'm gonna keep my grades high. I'm gonna do better at my job. I'm gonna stop being late. I'm gonna do all of this extravagant stuff that takes extreme motivation. It takes extreme drive. It takes extreme strength. The extreme everything. You got to be on your A game all the time, and that's usually why, because those expectations are so high. By the time week 2 of the new year comes around, or hell, day 2, you're joking around with your friends, or you're joking around and you're getting thousands of retweets because you're like, oh man, I told myself I was going to go to the gym at 5 a.m. every morning. Already broke it. I tried though. I get it's funny. It is funny because I laugh at it. I laugh at myself, you know. Um, but I feel like that is the biggest thing, making sure that your motivation is in the right place. And self-motivation is the most important motivation that you can have. I struggle with that a lot. A lot of people struggle with it a lot. And self-motivation comes from a place where, we're getting into rambling territory. You're going to learn real quick. I ramble a lot. Like, it's going to be times that we talking about something like this. We're talking about motivation right now, and 3 minutes later in the video, I'm going to be talking about how much I get annoyed when my dog starts squealing at me because they're ready to eat 2 hours before it's time to eat. Like, stop squealing. Don't be asking me for food. You know it's not time for you to eat. Leave me alone. I'm trying to play Kingdom Hearts or something. Back on track. Back on track. Self-motivation, right? So I feel like one of the biggest things with New Year's resolutions and being motivated is not setting your goals too high. A lot of us are perfectionists by nature, or we want to be perfectionists. We want to get from point A to point Z as quickly as humanly possible, and that's fine. That's human nature. We want to be the best that we can be. We want to be optimistic about our achievements and what we can do in this world, because we don't have a lot of time. You know, you can ask any older elderly person. You can ask, your grandparents, or somebody you work with that's in their 50s, 60s, 70s, and a lot of them will tell you that they wish they did more when they were younger, because time just moves so quickly. That before you know it, your time is up. You can't wait forever to do something that you can do right now. There's never any better time than the present. And so that's what we're really doing to ourselves with New Year's resolutions, and we're misplacing our motivation. You can't want to be from A to Z in 2 weeks. You can't say, I want to lose X amount of pounds in the new year. And then you start off with great habits, but then when you step on that scale in 2 days, 2 weeks, and you don't see the progress that you want to see, you can't let that be a deterrent, or you can't let that demotivate you. Is that a word? You can't let that strip your motivation to want to be better. Like, your self-motivation has to be your drive. You can't let your unrealistic expectations derail you from where you want to be. And I see that so often. You don't see the number you want to see on the scale, or you don't feel the way about yourself that you want to feel because you've changed it up. You want to be more confident or something, and you're trying new things, you're doing new things, and you don't feel any healthier, you don't feel any more energetic. Your skin hasn't cleared up. My skin ain't cleared up. I got a bump right here, and it's fucking. I said a bad word. It's terrible, and you don't let that derail you, because this stuff doesn't happen overnight. Most things, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm gonna try not to be a generalizer. Those are usually the worst type of people. Usually, most things worth wanting, most things worth achieving, don't happen overnight. One exception will be the lottery. That most definitely can happen overnight. Extremely unlikely, but if it's possible, if that does happen to you, hit me up. It's really one of those things where you mentally have to check yourself. Sometimes you do have to coach yourself. That's part of self-motivation. You can't sit there and let your inner perfectionist take over what should and what shouldn't be as far as your resolution, or even in regular life. Because I feel like New Year's resolutions are overrated, to be honest. Because I feel like you can wake up any given day. Like, you shouldn't wait for the new year. A lot of people do that. It's November, or even as late as like September or something, and people are like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, but I'm going to wait till the new year, get a fresh start. It's another day, man. It's another day. Like, if you're going to do it now. Don't procrastinate. Because I know about procrastinating. I procrastinate a lot, and I hate it. It's terrible. Because it's just going to stay there on the shelf, and it's not going to move. Whatever you're doing, it's going to stay on the shelf. Because the thing is, you may think procrastinating is fine, because I procrastinated all through school, all through college, and I graduated. Procrastinate all you want, but the more you do it, just like anything else that you do in life, you do something over and over again, it becomes a habit. And just like a good thing, negative things can become habits. That's a negative thing. So you procrastinate in school, you procrastinate all your life, you procrastinate doing just little things, it becomes a habit. So then when it turns into things that you want to do, that hinders your motivation, because you don't want to do anything. You say, I'll do it later. I don't feel like doing it right now. Do it now. Do it now. Like, I've been planning and brainstorming on writing a book for years. And I kept telling myself, I'm going to do it. Like, I have all these ideas. I've scrapped and redone stories and storyboards and characters, plot points, all these things. I was just doing all this work, and it was all in my head. So I knew I was going to do it. That's why I kept telling myself, I know I'm going to do it. I've come up with all of these ideas. There's no way I'm not going to do it. But that's all it was ever going to be, was an idea, until I actually put my pen on paper, until I actually started typing, until there was actually files on my computer saved as rough drafts of chapters, as descriptions of characters. I've actually started. One day I literally woke up and I told myself, there's no time like a present. Like, I can't keep doing this. It's been, I don't even know when I came up with the idea for the story. Like, it was, this 2019. God dang, it's 2019. It was like 17, or like early 2017. here we are 2 years later, and I'm just barely starting the book. I started actually writing the book probably in October, maybe. I think I'm rambling. I can't really identify it. I can't really identify when I'm rambling. That's what my fiance's for, but she's not here. Yeah, that was my take on motivation, right? So in the comments, tell me, any thoughts that you have on what motivation means to you. What your New Year's resolution, even if it's not New Year's resolution, what does, what do you want to achieve? Not just this year, just in general. And, how you're going to achieve it. I'm a strong believer of speaking things into existence. If you type it out and you put it where everybody can see it, or you say it out loud in front of your friends or in front of people, then you're going to be more motivated to do it. You're speaking it, you're typing it into existence. It's out there now. People can hold you to it. You say, I'm going to do this, and you put it out there for everybody. They're like, okay, you're going to do it because you said you are. That's your word, And so, whatever you're trying to do, I believe in you and I know you can do it. We got to make the best of every 24 hours that we have. Everybody doesn't have the same resources. Everybody doesn't have the same amount of time to do everything. But if there's anything that we can all have the same level of, it's motivation and drive. So make the best of your drive, make the best of your self-motivation, make the best of the people around you, because be a good friend, be a good supporter. Help those around you, motivate them too, because, we need all the help we can get. So, peace out. I'll catch you guys on the next video, and take it easy. I don't really know how to close out a video.
Wait, criticism's coming right at me. Every comment on the post is a poke at a lackey.